What's cracking with you people? Anansi here and welcome back to Dead or Alive Ultimate. In the last one, we did a character study on Zack and oddly enough went into a tangent on BET influence on Japanese youth culture. Only on my channel, am I right? In this one, we're going to kick it off with Ryu Hayabusa from the popular series Ninja Gaiden. Now, with regards to Ryu, gameplay-wise, he's a well-balanced character. Not too fast, not too slow, not too strong, not too weak. He hits just right and has just enough speed to make him a real danger to your opponents if you know what you're doing with him. I obviously do not. And granted that this was Dead or Alive Ultimate back in '96, there are not that many combos to learn with every single character. There are, of course, several a handful of advanced combos, but nowhere near the move list they would get in like Dead or Alive 2 or 3. Oh god, 3. But yeah, it's an interesting character to learn how to deal with. With regards to him as a character, though, you know, he's a typical stoic individual. Doesn't boast, but he's not too quiet. He stays threatening enough to keep his opponent's guard up. With regards to his character bio, though, I'll just read it out for you. Ryu bears the name Hayabusa, an honor bestowed upon only the most distinguished of ninjas from the Hayabusa school. His life was a continuous fight until he met his love, Eileen, and found satisfaction in peace, but his thirst for challenge returned when he learned that his best friend's sister, Kasumi, had disappeared. Shortly thereafter, a dark figure approached and handed Ryu a piece of paper stained red. Then, without a word, the figure slipped away. Welcome to Dead or Alive, from Fame Douglas. The letter read, "Another seduction from the dark." The invitation in his hand beckoned like an old lover. Once again, Ryu slipped into the shadow of darkness. So they really took the time with his character bio to kind of play up his reputation, or at the very least what they were going for with Ryu with what would then be upcoming 3D iteration of the character. Because it's very melodramatic, very stylized, very in-your-face, that kind of thing. It's overly cheesy, but it gets the point across. Now, as far as name-dropping Eileen, well, Eileen was a character that was the love interest in the original Ninja Gaiden for the NES, but the recent reboots have, for all intents and purposes, completely written her character out of Ninja Gaiden and replaced her with, well, actually two different characters. If you have played the, at the time of this recording, recently released Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, which re-released all three of the 3D Ninja Gaiden games for Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox, you will see that Ryu has two new lovers in his life, one of which we meet briefly for all of 5 seconds, and then she dies. It is something or other. I think you have to read supplemental material to even figure out that she was originally his flame. And the character of Eileen will be replaced with the character of Irene in Ninja Gaiden 2. Oh boy, Irene. But regardless of that, I do find it interesting that they did use that bio, even though literally the next game from now, which I think is the first, like, Ryu's first solo 3D game since the jump to 3D on Dead or Alive. They essentially just reboot the series. That's all it is, and they want him to fit more in line with the style of Dead or Alive than anything else. Don't get me wrong, Ryu was still stoic. He had a pretty standoffish attitude, in the original Ninja Gaiden, but after the first run of the 3D reboot, Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3, he completely drops that standoffish attitude. Like, the first game, they're like, okay, we get this is 3D Ninja Gaiden, we get that there hasn't been a Ninja Gaiden game since the mid-90s, this is like mid to late 2000s. No, not even mid-90s, I want to say like the early 90s, maybe late 80s. I had to double check when the original Ninja Gaiden came out, but they're like, yeah, we know there hasn't been a new one in a while, but this is the same Ryu for this game. And then Ninja Gaiden 2, I won't say completely changed him, but they lean heavily into the stoic ninja front. And I guess to really acclimatize them to the new world that their life inhabits, they make connection with the franchise's main heroine, Kasumi, by making him her older brother's best friend. Now, a lot of the stuff that they introduced in Dead or Alive Ultimate would end up getting dropped, if not the next game, then during the Dead or Alive Dimensions reboot, which I have yet to touch upon with Dead or Alive Dimensions. If I did touch upon it, it was very briefly, but DOA Dimensions essentially retells the story of Dead or Alive from Dead or Alive 1 to 4. And considering that Dead or Alive 1 story was told pretty much through manual text, the way back when you would get like game manuals to tell you how to play the game, you would read through the text to sometimes get flavor text on the characters if there wasn't a story mode packaged into the game where they had like fleshed out story. You had to get more backstory from manuals. Even if there was a story involved inside the game, they usually was bare bones at best, and some of the stuff was just never been hinted at, like the original Super Mario, Super Mario Brothers. You find out that the brick blocks that Mario is breaking are actually the inhabitants of the Mushroom Kingdom. He's literally committing murder every time he breaks one open. Yeah, my childhood got completely redefined after I found that out. Thanks a lot, MacPat. But yeah, no. For basically, I guess if you want to look at it, you could look at it as one of two things. Dead or Alive exists within the world of Ninja Gaiden, or Ninja Gaiden became a spin-off that exists within the world of Dead or Alive. It all depends on how you want to look at it. I would say, considering that Dead or Alive has more installations in the series, I think it's safe to say that Ninja Gaiden is an offshoot of Dead or Alive, but who am I to say? But Ryu, as far as like a character goes, because I usually talk about characters and whatnot inside these retrospective kind of videos, Ryu's character really hasn't grown very much. But once again, in Dead or Alive 2, they lean very heavily into him being the stoic, grown-up, responsible ninja character. His usual standoff kind of snide attitude he would have in I won't say standoff, but I won't say snide, but it's very standoffish attitude that he had in the original Ninja Gaidens is pretty much all but forgotten after 2. And Dead or Alive 2 came out after, I think, the original Ninja Gaiden. Well, the 3D Ninja Gaiden came out on the original Xbox. They pretty much dropped it, and then Dead or Alive 2 up through even the most recent Dead or Alive and up through Ninja Gaiden 2, they kept him as this very stoic figure. It wasn't until like Ninja Gaiden 3, which, fun fact, was the very first Ninja Gaiden I ever actually bought, owned, and played. Bought, owned, and beat. I've only ever played a demo of Ninja Gaiden 2, so that's going to be a very fun game to get to when I finally get to that one. Because I remember that demo kicked my butt in the first 5 minutes. Oh god, that game was hard. That was just a demo, but I mean, my goodness, I didn't even know Ninja Gaiden I didn't even know Ninja Gaiden had a reputation for being a difficult game. I looked it up after the fact. I'm like, oh, I downloaded a demo for a game that is known to intentionally kick your ass. Okay, now I know. But going from there, Ninja Gaiden 3, this was after Itagaki left Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo over I believe it was a payment dispute, but there was also some stuff behind the scenes with that guy, and this is Well, I want to get into that a little bit later because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to that. He left, and afterwards there was a notable change in the direction of both series that ultimately culminated in Team Ninja's most recent original IP, Neo. And that change was towards a more dramatic, more serious storytelling. Yes, Ryu is still very much stoic in Dead or Alive 5 and 6, but Dead or Alive 5 and 6 and Ninja Gaiden 3 pretty much toned back a lot of the over-the-top sexuality and style that both series have become known for in the early to mid-2000s. Now, aesthetically speaking, I'll leave that up to each individual, but I will say this: if you're going to change a series style that dramatically, and believe me, this won't be the last time we talk about a stylistic change in a series going forward, especially with regards to Dead or Alive. Believe me, when we get to like 3 and 4, I got some things to say about that. Well, I won't say 3 and 4, but when we get to 5, Dead or Alive 5, yeah, I got something to say about that. But if you're going to change the style of a series, I'm not sure about how it plays because the gameplay-wise, neither series changed, but how its fundamental look, its basic appeal is going to change, its basic DNA. You're gonna need to stick the landing with the new direction. And bit of a preview for my thoughts on Ninja Gaiden 3 and Dead or Alive. I'm gonna say specifically 6, because I'm still trying to digest how I feel about Dead or Alive 5. With regards to DOA 6 and in Ninja Gaiden 3, I don't think they stuck the landing. I don't think they did. The ideas present are interesting with regards to, well, specifically Ninja Gaiden. The ideas present are interesting. I just don't think that they finished strong. Because DOA 6 effectively, as far as narratively speaking, the series is kind of done. There's a couple of plot points, and when we get to 6, I'll talk about those when we get to 6. But Ninja Gaiden 3, that game A, apparently didn't sell well, and B, was very polarizing, especially the follow-up Ninja Gaiden Yaiba. Well, Yaiba Ninja Gaiden, because oh boy, I haven't beaten that game yet. Somewhat okay with that game, but I still gotta finish it. But yeah, going back to Ninja Gaiden, it is the landing, and after Yaiba, it pretty much put Ninja Gaiden on ice until the recent re-releases of the Sigma Collection and Razor's Edge. Which I have been actually arguing that Team Ninja should have done for about the last decade. Before I started doing YouTube, when I found out that Ninja Gaiden had like 3 different releases of that game, and then Ninja Gaiden 2 had another release called Sigma, but they were console exclusives. I'm like, you release better versions of these games on completely different consoles than what they were originally released on, but you never re-released them on the other consoles they were originally released for. That is bad business, okay? And granted, Koei Tecmo has never been a particularly gigantic powerhouse in terms of their gaming department, in terms of their gaming relevance. Oh, and this I should bring up, you get this particular screen when you beat the game. You can put in we beat the game with a particularly interesting, with a high score. You put in your initials. Yes, my initials do spell BAM. I'm not making that up. I'm not going to tell you my entire name, but the first letter of my first, middle, and last name do spell out the word BAM. It's pretty amazing. When I was young, I would break everything. My dad used to call me Bam Bam as a term of endearment because I broke everything when I was younger. And if you ever watch Flintstones, Bam Man liked to break things with a giant club. But yeah, no, I mean, and we'll get more into like Ninja Gaiden. If you follow the Ninja Gaiden playthrough I do, I'm definitely going to get more and more into stylistic changes and how the series has evolved and how I don't think some things change for the better overall. but yeah, Ryu really has kind of struggled to find an identity, and in the new age. And I'm hoping that if we do get a follow-up to Ninja Gaiden 4, that they kind of go back to Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. I don't mind the serious storytelling. I don't mind them trying to fix his character up. I don't mind them trying to give him some depth. But I think they overcorrected for the inherent silliness and overtop nature of the original Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive universe and kind of sucked the fun out of it. But hey, that's my thoughts on Ryu. I'll catch you in the next one. I've been Anansi. You've been awesome. Deuces.